So let's talk about the law of attraction, which I'm not, the way it's worded and the way most people understand it, I'm not a big fan of it. One of the things that people think when they think of the law of attraction is that whatever positive thoughts I put out there, I get positive. If I put a negative thought out there, I'm going to get something negative. And that's not really how it works. One of the things that it's bypassing is the need for people to tune into to their energetical body, to be more grounded and have more of an open heart. If none of those things are not there, it's very hard to attract. So, for example, if you're driving and you're getting upset behind the car and you go, oh, just F yourself, and you have a negative thought about the person who just cut you off, you're not going to attract something negative. It's not like a boomerang. It's not like you put something out and it just comes back and slaps you in the face. That's not how it works. We all have those. What I believe the law of attraction is trying to tap onto is the ability of us humans to create our own reality based on our thoughts. And think of the brain like a record player. You know those old 1970s, and I think they're coming back actually now, record players where you put a vinyl on it and you put like a little, the hand, the needle, the arm, I don't know how it's called. And periodically that record player starts skipping. And so once it skips, it's creating a deeper groove, and it keeps repeating the same thing over and over and over again. And before you know it, it's unable to move forward. So think of your brain exactly like that. If you constantly are in negativity and putting negativity out there and thinking, for example, you look at yourself in the morning in a mirror and you are thinking, I look ugly. I look ugly. Right? And it's your constant thinking, you do not like who you are. Your brain is used to this. Now, for you to break that pattern, it's going to be so much harder for you to look at yourself and say, I love who I am. So you have to work at it. And that's why I'm saying it's like a record player, because to be able to stop a song from skipping, you've got to go pick up the arm of the record player and move it onto another spot on the record. And eventually, that spot will become the new area where your head and the song can keep going on. Sometimes, because it's too close to the old groove, it falls right back in. It falls right back into the same pattern. That's exactly what your brain does. It's not going to take one time to change your way of thinking. It's going to take many, many more times to form another groove for your song to keep going. So, to me, that's much more accurate when it comes down to the law of attraction. And I said earlier too, it's like you cannot attract if you are not coming from an open heart. And I really mean that, because a lot of what the people are trying to attract in their life, it's prosperity. You cannot attract prosperity if you have a closed heart center. If you're living your life this way. And for many different reasons. Sometimes you are in fear of not being able to feed your family. Those are valid reasons. Or you just are somebody who is more inclined to just keep everything very close in. So you are leading your life with your fist closed and your heart closed. Now, you can't attract that way. Unfortunately, you cannot. You have to be able to just turn around, open your hands, open your heart. If you come from a heart center, you're much more likely to attract prosperity. And prosperity is not always just about money. Prosperity can be about having an amazing relationship in your life. It could be about being able to love deeply. There's so many different ways that prosperity manifests in people's lives. So what is prosperity to you? This is what I will ask you. Now, all of that together, if you are able to work on your heart center and open up your heart, you're much more likely to be prosperous. You're much more likely to attract positivity and attract something positive in your life. The second thing that I always mention is being grounded. If you are not grounded, it makes it hard for the energy of your first, second, and third chakra, which is your lower energy center, that also connect to your legs and to your roots. Those are the chakras of safety, of family, of groundedness, but mostly of safety. So when those areas are out of whack, what happens is they get locked down. If they get locked down, the energy of your roots, of your legs cannot climb up all the way up and really connect you to what's above, which is how you manifest, is by also repeating things, calling upon, asking your guide and your spirit guides. But if you are not grounded, that energy cannot move. If that energy cannot move, it's harder to manifest, it's harder to open up, it's harder to attract. So grounded, open heart. And why those two go together is because if you are very, very grounded and you're very earthy, and your first chakra, which is the chakra of safety and of family, is very wide open. Second chakra, which is the chakra of sexual energy, creativity, is really bursting open as well. And your fourth chakra, which is the chakra of your heart, is actually shut down. The energy blocks and it stops. And again, it can't go up. So your heart is the gateway. So you want to attract, you start with the heart. You make sure you're grounded. And then the energy can flow. If the energy can flow, you're much more likely to be able to connect to what's above you, to something that's higher than yourself, to surrender to what may be. And that is much more likely that you can actually bring in attraction. Not bring in attraction, you can attract the things that you desire. But it starts with simple breathing exercises. It starts by going outside, grounding yourself, breathing in through your feet, being in nature, doing open heart centered exercises, checking yourself when you're at work, right? Are you always like hunching forward on your computer? That makes it harder to have an open heart. Periodically, roll your shoulders back, open your heart. Yeah, that's how it starts. That's how the law of attraction can start. I've seen too many people trying to attract without focusing on the rest. It doesn't work. And I'll give you an example. I dated this woman 20 and some years ago who, anyway, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but anyway, look, one of her daily mantra was, I wish to have $1 million in my bank account. I wish to have $1 million in my bank account. I wish to have $1 million in my bank account. And good news for you, that never manifested. And this is why. There was something really dark within her, and at the heart, her heart was not open. She was grounded, but her heart was not open. It was not coming from a good place. And that never came. And also, when you're trying to attract, you cannot just be trying to attract and be passive, which I mean by that is like trying to call in upon $1 million, but do nothing to create the space for that $1 million to come on. So it's not just creating the energetical space to be open to receive that much wealth, but it's also taking the steps to try to create that wealth, right? It's not just going to fall on your lap. That's the end result. You've got to be able to take the simple step. And I'm going to bring it down to something a little more simple, such as if you want to drink a cup of coffee and you want to attract a cup of coffee, right? You're at home. It's not going to fall on your lap. You got to get up. You got to do what you need to do. Maybe warm up water in my case, grind the beans, pour the coffee, and then pour it into the cup. After that, here's my coffee cup. Now, if I bring it up to my lips and I'm able to drink the coffee, I've attracted my coffee cup really well. But here's the thing. If as I'm doing this, suddenly there's an earthquake, the ceiling falls, breaks my cup, and I have no coffee, that outcome is really not up to me. And that's the part that sometimes people are missing during trying to attract their exercises for law of attraction. And what I mean by that is they're jumping right to that step. They're jumping right into, I want to attract this, and I'm putting it out into the universe, and I'm expecting that to come to me. And they're taking none of the steps to get there. The steps are up to you. The outcome is not. That is it. That is how the law of attraction works. So hopefully this helped. I just wanted to address this because I've seen it over and over again, and I just thought it was a good thing to talk about. So I love you all. I'm Malaurie. I'm a psychic and medium. Yes, you can schedule private sessions with me by going to the link in my bio and just booking a time on my schedule. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you. I love you all. Have the absolutely best day. And remember, be your favorite version of yourself.